You've been knocking on a locked door for years. You've whispered, pleaded, and sat in stillness, only to meet static. What if you weren't supposed to beg the universe, but to enter a code? The 5 superfoods that awaken the third eye in just a few days is not a miracle promise. It's a protocol. A set of small physiological nudges paired with a tight somatic sequence that makes your subtle system more receptive. Many people notice subtle shifts in days. Some report deeper changes faster. Your mileage will vary, but the code is simple, and you can begin now. First, the frame. Awakening is not pleading, it's encoding. Imagine the inner eye as a locked console behind a heavy door. There is static on the line, conditioning, doubt, the old guard, call them archontes if you like, feeding noise into your frequency. To move past that noise, we use 3 operational keys: recognition, authority, command. Recognition is the visceral memory. It's not belief. It's a body-level I remember that lands in the chest and spine. Authority is alignment. The body accepts the blueprint. It is not ego, it's calibration. Command is brief and direct, a present-tense decree released without grasping. These 3 keys are the mental somatic algorithm you will run every time you introduce one of the 5 superfood catalysts. Pair these 3 keys with 5 targeted foods that prime circulation, reduce inflammation, refine sleep patterns, and nudge subtle body receptivity. The food doesn't do the work alone. Your practice does. Think of the foods as firmware updates that allow the protocol to land more cleanly. If this message is calling you, do a small symbolic act now. In the comments type, "I activate the third eye," and tap like. That simple act anchors intention. Then keep watching. Before we activate anything, a short somatic primer, the elevator to heart descent. Stand or sit tall. Inhale fully. As you exhale, imagine a gentle elevator descending from the base of your throat to a place behind the sternum, a warm, resonant chamber. Feel the breath land there. Notice the spine lengthening, the chest softening, the heartbeat settling into a calm, clear cadence. This descent is your landing pad for recognition. Your anchor phrase for the session is concise. I remember. Use it silently as you breathe into the chest. That phrase will appear in the authority step as a fuller sentence, and then in the command as a single present tense demand. Keep them compact. Keep them true. Now the protocol. For each superfood you'll get 1-line rationale, practical prep and serving, a contraindication note, and a 30-60-second micro-practice using recognition, authority, command, release. Perform the micro-practice after consuming a small serving, ideally when you feel the food in your body, 5 to 20 minutes after eating. 1. Pine Nourish, raw walnuts and mixed seeds. Rationale. These are rich in healthy fats and micronutrients traditionally associated with brain health and cellular membrane flexibility. In plain language, fats help your nervous system stay supple, so signals travel cleaner. Many traditions use nuts and seeds as grounding foods before inner work. Prep and serving. A small handful, about 1 ounce, a small palmful of raw walnuts, or a mix of walnuts, pumpkin and flax seeds in the morning with water or a light herbal tea. Chew slowly. Avoid roasted or heavily salted versions. Raw and simple is the point. Contraindication. If you have a nut allergy, skip this and substitute with a seed-only mix: pumpkin, sunflower, chia. If you're on a caloric-restricted or fat-sensitive protocol, consult a provider before increasing fats. Micro-practice. After eating, seated or standing. Recognition. Place 1 hand on your sternum and the other at the base of your skull. Breathe slowly into the chest. Feel the spine lengthen. Notice a steady heartbeat. Say silently, I remember. Authority. Press gently into the feet. Plant yourself. State inwardly, with calm firmness. My body holds the code. Sense it land in the chest like a key turning. Command. Visualize the inner door. Speak once, present tense, simple. Open now, clear and kind. Release the phrase and let your hands soften. Release. Let the shoulders drop. Breathe out fully and imagine any buzzing static flowing out through your hands and down into the ground. Sit quietly for 10 breaths and observe any change in clarity or warmth behind the eyes. 2. Sea veils. Iodine-rich sea vegetables. Kelp, nori, dulse. Rationale. Sea vegetables are traditionally used to support glandular balance and contain trace minerals that many cultures prize. Framed cautiously, they provide micronutrients linked in studies to thyroid support and systemic mineral balance, which can affect sleep and energy rhythms. Elements relevant to subtle receptivity. Prep and serving. Small portions. A thin sheet of nori as a snack, or a teaspoon of kelp flakes stirred into soup or a smoothie once per day. If using powdered kelp, start very small, pinch-sized, and increase only if you tolerate it well. Contraindication. Avoid high-dose seaweed if you have diagnosed thyroid disorders or are on thyroid medication without consulting a clinician. Pregnant or nursing people should seek medical advice first. Watch for iodine sensitivities. Micro-practice after consuming. Recognition. Sit with eyes half soft. Place attention behind the sternum and feel the elevator descend. Notice subtle warmth or coolness. Whisper inward. I remember the center. Authority. Tilt your chin slightly down to the chest. With quiet certainty, say to yourself, my heart is the receiver. Hold that as a felt posture, not a thought. Command. Inhale and deliver a crisp, present tense phrase. Receive clearly. As you exhale, imagine a warm thread of light descending from the center of the forehead to the chest, anchoring the signal. Release. Loosen the jaw. Allow any tension to drip off the shoulders. Note any shifts in breath or pulse. Keep a journal note. Time, food, practice, sensations. 3. Clarity pair. Blueberry. Plus, micro cacao. Rationale. Blueberries are rich in polyphenols. Cacao in small amounts is traditionally associated with mood support and heightened presence. Together, they support circulation and a bright, alert quality that can sharpen perception. Frame it. These foods contain compounds that are associated with antioxidant activity and mild modulation of neurotransmitter pathways in some studies. Prep and serving. A small bowl of fresh blueberries, 1-2 cup with a pinch, 1/4 to 1-2 teaspoon, of raw cacao powder, stirred into coconut yogurt or blended into a smoothie. Keep cacao micro. Avoid chocolate bars with high sugar. Best mid-morning or early afternoon. Contraindication. If you are caffeine sensitive or on certain medications, limit cacao or avoid. Watch for sensitivities to chocolate or berries. Diabetics should monitor blood sugar impact. Micro-practice after consuming. Recognition. Stand and take 3 long, slow breaths. Place fingers lightly on the bridge of the nose and behind the sternum. Notice any cooling or tingling at the forehead. Authority. With shoulders relaxed, say inwardly, I focus without force. Let that settle as a felt permission in the chest. Command. Speak your single-line decree. See with calm clarity now. Visualize a soft blue light radiating from the third eye, gentle and precise. Release. Shake your hands lightly to let energy redistribute. Observe for a few minutes. Sharpened colors, clearer edges, or subtle inner images. 4. The authority blend. Turmeric plus black pepper. Rationale. Turmeric is used around the world as an anti-inflammatory culinary spice. Black pepper increases its bioavailability. Together, they can be framed as circulation and tissue-supporting allies in traditional systems. In the energetic language of the practice, they clear local blockages so authority can take hold. Prep and serving. A warm golden milk, 1 cup plant milk warmed, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon turmeric powder, a pinch of black pepper, a small drizzle of fat, coconut oil or butter if tolerated. Take in the early evening or before a short practice. Contraindication: if you are on blood thinners, have gallbladder issues, or are pregnant, consult a clinician before regular use. Turmeric can interact with certain medications. Micro-practice after consuming. Recognition: lie down or recline. Let the breath settle into the chest. Track any sensations moving through the torso. Think quietly. I remember my boundary. Authority: bring attention to the sternum and say with calm strength, "My will is aligned with my body." Feel the words ground in the ribs. Command: with a steady exhale, deliver. Clear this path. Imagine a soft, warming current sweeping any blockages away from the midline. Release: let go of control. Permit the body to soften into the surface beneath you and stay present to any images, tears, or shifts that arise. 5. Purifying Duo, raw honey, plus chlorophyll greens, wheatgrass, spirulina. Rationale: raw honey has been used as a gentle, energetic carrier in many traditions. Chlorophyll-rich greens are associated with internal cleansing and vitality. Together, they serve as a mild, energetic, and detox support in the protocol, an ending step before release. Prep and serving. A teaspoon of raw honey dissolved in warm water with a small serving of liquid chlorophyll, or a tablespoon of wheatgrass juice, or a half teaspoon of spirulina mixed into a green smoothie. Take in the morning or just before your sealing practice. Contraindication: raw honey is not safe for infants under 1 year. If you have autoimmune conditions, chronic infections, or are pregnant, consult a clinician before adding spirulina or concentrated greens. Check for allergies to bee products. Micro-practice after consuming. Recognition: stand and open your palms. Feel the pulse at the wrists and the soft place behind the sternum. Say silently, "I remember release." Authority. With hands over the heart, affirm, "I am permitted to let go." Allow the chest to expand on the inhale. Command. Speak once, clear and light. Release now, with peace. Visualize any residue dissolving into green light and slipping out the feet. Release. Shake gently, then bring both palms to the earth. Breathe 5 slow breaths and notice how the pitch of your inner world has changed. Integration. Sequencing a short protocol, 3 to 7 days. You can work this as a focused stack across 3 to 7 days. A clear and simple schedule. Option A, concentrated 3-day stack. Day 1 morning. Pine Nourish micro-practice. Day 1 midday. Sea Veils micro-practice. Day 1 afternoon. Clarity Pair micro-practice. Day 1 evening. Authority Blend micro-practice. Day 2 morning. Purifying Duo Sealing practice. Repeat the sequence across days 2 and 3, observing and journaling shifts. Rest between intense days. Option B, gentle 7-day rotation. Day 1, Pine Nourish plus short practice. Day 2, Sea Veils plus practice. Day 3, Clarity Pair plus practice. Day 4, Authority Blend plus practice. Day 5, Purifying Duo plus practice. Days 6 to 7. Repeat the 2 foods that felt most resonant, continue journaling, and perform the 5-breath sealing practice each night. Practical rules: take small servings, introduce 1 new item at a time, stay hydrated, and sleep well. The food's prime, the somatic practice signals. Combine both and allow the system to respond. Important safety pause. I'm not giving medical advice. If you have allergies, are pregnant or nursing, are on prescription medication, especially blood thinners or thyroid meds, or have chronic health conditions, consult a qualified healthcare professional before making significant dietary changes or adding concentrated supplements like kelp or spirulina. Start with tiny amounts and observe. If you experience severe reactions, rash, difficulty breathing, chest pain, stop immediately and seek medical care. What to expect: collapse, echo, neutrality. When you change frequency, clutter shifts. Expect 3 common responses. Collapse, a short clearing event. You may feel tired, have a headache, or experience emotional releases, sudden tears, old memories surfacing, or sleepiness. This is often the system rearranging. Response: hydrate, rest, journal a brief note, and postpone intense practice until you feel steadier. If symptoms are severe or prolonged, contact your clinician. Echo, synchronicities and amplified signals. Small coincidences appear, dreams intensify, or you notice patterns aligning in everyday life. These are signals that the system is retuning and beginning to communicate differently. Response: keep a log of meaningful coincidences. They are data, not destiny. Stay grounded. Maintain routine self-care. Neutrality: a calm, clear baseline where the emotional roller coaster softens. You may feel less reactive, quieter internally, as if the static has diminished. Response: honor it. Continue the practice but reduce intensity. Neutrality is the stable frequency you want to sustain. If at any point you feel destabilized beyond your capacity, panic, disorientation, prolonged insomnia, reach out to a clinician or a trusted support person. This protocol is about sovereignty, not suffering. Troubleshooting and interference. Doubt, noise, and institutional conditioning, the archontes of the mind, will try to reassert themselves. When that happens, return to the elevator to heart descent. 3 slow breaths, place your hand on the sternum, say, "I remember," and run the micro-practice for 30 seconds. Keep your commands short and present. The simplest practices repeated are more powerful than rare, elaborate rituals. A few pragmatic tips. Journal briefly after each practice. Time, food, practice, 3 sensations. Stay hydrated. Small shifts are amplified when you're well hydrated. Avoid heavy alcohol or restless nights during the concentrated protocol days. If you take medications that interact with supplements or certain foods, consult a clinician. This is crucial. A note about language and metaphor. You may hear words like monad, archontes, demiurge floating through this approach. Use them as metaphors for conditioning, not as dogma. Think of your monad as the source frequency, the original signal line. The archontes are habits and noise that interrupt the signal. This practice is about refusing the static and dialing in the right frequency. If religious references feel sensitive, treat them as symbolic tools you can adopt or discard. Final sealing practice. 5 breaths and 1 command. We finish with a short grounding seal you can do right now. Sit or stand comfortably. Place both hands lightly on your chest. Close your eyes if that feels safe. Inhale. 1. Feel breath descend to the elevator landing behind the sternum. Say silently, "I remember." Exhale 1. Soften the shoulders. Inhale 2. Lengthen the spine. Feel authority settling. Say, "My body holds the code." Exhale 2. Release tension. Inhale 3. Gather attention at the forehead. Exhale 3. Speak once out loud or silently, your command. Open now, clear and kind. Inhale 4. Feel gratitude, small and centered. Exhale 4. Release any clutching. Inhale 5. A final full breath into the chest. Exhale 5. Seal. Imagine a gentle ring of golden light circling the forehead and chest, anchoring the change. When you're ready, open your eyes slowly. Drink a glass of water. Make a single note in your journal. Time, 1 word to describe how you feel and whether you felt any physical shifting. You are not begging the universe. You are adjusting your frequency, tightening the protocol, giving your subtle system what it needs to hear clearly. These 5 superfoods are tools, practical, traditional, and physiological prompts that make your practice land cleaner. Many people notice subtle shifts in days. Remember that deep recalibration takes patience and ongoing care. If this guided protocol landed for you, subscribe and follow the playlist linked below to go deeper into sequencing, troubleshooting, and longer somatic practices. Return to this short protocol whenever you need to clear the static and reassert your authority. Grounding instruction. After you wrap up, walk for 5 minutes, sip water, and be gentle with yourself. The work of the third eye is not to make you special, it is to make you sovereign.